Testing, definitely on. Excellent. Okay. Good morning. It's nice to see all of you. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm Rabbi Natalie Shribman, and I'm joined by Janet Christensen, our soloist. The microphone does have low battery, so when you can't hear me, we are working on it. We are trying very hard. Maybe you can give me a signal when you can't hear, when it does go out. We're going to begin on page 135 in our prayer books. We thank you, living and eternal one, for morning light, for the breath within us, for strength and life renewed. Now it opens before us, this Sabbath of Sabbaths, gift of spacious contemplation, mirror for the soul. May we see our lives reflected in this still clear pool, a day apart, unhurried time and undivided mind. Give us joy in this day that Israel shares. Give us presence and attention, clear vision, a listening heart. We wake to the morning, we open our eyes, and we breathe your name. Page 156. Continue on page 171 with Ilu Finu. Page 175. We read together in the English, our sovereign God, source of holiness and greatness. May your name be praised forever in this world and beyond. Eternal One, God of our mothers and our fathers, your strength, sanctity, glory, and dominion are deserving of song, praise, poetry, hymn, sacred chant, and blessings of thankfulness for all time and eternity. Baruch atah Adonai, El Melech Gadol Batishbachot, El Ha'odaot, Adon Haniflaot, Habocher Beshirei Zimra, Melech El Chai Ha'olamim. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign of praise, source of the impulse to give thanks, crown of wonders who desires a world filled with song and a universe of life.
Yitzgadol, Yitzgadash, Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ve'alma divrach yirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'yomechon, u'chayei dechon Beit Yisrael, b'agana u'mizman karim, ve'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach, le'alam amei amaya, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitba'ar Mitzrama Mitzaseh, Yitzadar Mitzana Mitzanot, Shemei Dekudesha Brichu, La'ela u'le'ela, Bimkom Berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata, v'nehemata, Tamiran be'alma, ve'imru amen.
Please rise if you're able to. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, whose power fills the cosmos, who opens for us the gates of compassion and lights up the eyes of those who await forgiveness, shaper of light, source of the darkness, maker of peace, creator of all. Infinite light is preserved in life's treasure house. Lights in the darkness, said God, and it was so. Page 181. Like an unbroken current, energy streams from the source, bathing the planets in light, calling forth life, movement, mind unfolding from matter, the power to love. And we offer it back to you, our own creative energy, ever dreaming, building, shaping patterns out of chaos, searching out light in the darkness. Creation never ceases, not for an instant. All life is aglow with your light. All things draw sustenance from the source. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. We can read together on page 182. Love abundant, love unstinting. Our God, you have enfolded us in love. Tender compassion beyond all bounds, your precious gift. Our fathers and mothers gave you their trust, and you gave them Torah, laws by which to live. For their sake, teach us as well, grace us with your guidance. Loving Father, merciful Mother of us all, grant us clear understanding that we may listen, learn, and teach, preserve, practice, and fulfill with love every lesson of your Torah. May learning your Torah light up our eyes. May our hearts embrace your mitzvot. Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael ba'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Page 188. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol mevotecha ve'hayu hadibarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'vlechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'v'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu le'totafot b'neinecha u'chtatam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedosim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti atem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 195. And they shall know that I, Adonai, am their God, who brought them out of Egypt, that I might abide among them. I, Adonai, their God. You took us out of the darkness, so that your light might dwell among us. You showed us your power to bring down the powerful, uplift the enslaved, transform the social order. You showed us your strength, so that we might remember our own. We carry the Exodus vision wherever we go, lest we forget our sense of liberation, lest we lose the joy of breathing free, lest we grow indifferent and blind to others' pain. So long as we work to make you present, we walk the path of freedom. But if we forget to bring you into this world, then we return to the darkness. Shira Chadasha
Please rise if you're able to. Page 198. Please be seated. Page 209. Today we call it by its rightful name, a day of dread, Nora Vayom, unwelcome visitor for what we want to live in a sunny world where God is love and all endings are happy. But the drumbeat sounds and the words tumble down, and even the angels tremble with fear, for all things are judged, and all things will pass.
and life ends in a heartbeat, and death knows our name. At the start of the year, in the season of truth, comes the day of remembrance, for all we forget and all we deny, and we fall on our knees in the depths of our hearts, for we know that the bell tolls for us. The words are old and the language was theirs, but the call is real and the message is ours. Take hold of your life while you still have the chance, for your story will end, and it might be this year, in a way you don't know. Take hold of your life, make things right while you can, and don't miss the call of the day of dread. Together, let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deepest awe and inspires highest praise for your dominion. For your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. In truth, you are judge and plaintiff, counselor and witness. You inscribe and seal, you record and recount, you remember all that we have forgotten. And when you open the book of memories, it speaks for itself, for every human hand leaves its mark, an imprint like no other. And so a great shofar will cry, Tekiah. A still small voice will be heard. Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, Behold the day of judgment, for they too are judged. In your eyes, even they are not blameless. All who come into the world pass before you, like sheep before their shepherd, as a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff. You count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you inscribe judgments. On Rosh Hashanah, this is written, on the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. How many will pass away from this world? How many will be born into it? Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age? Who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by beast? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? Who will be calm and who tormented? Who will live in poverty and who in prosperity? Who will be humbled and who exalted? Uteshuva, utefila, utsadaka, ma'averin et ro'ah hagazera. But through a turn to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. Together, you are everything that we praise you for. Slow to anger, quick to forgive. You do not wish the death of sinners, but urge them to return from their ways and live. Until the day of death, you wait for them. You accept them at once if they return. Since you created us, you know our impulses. We are but flesh and blood. Page 218. Please rise if you are able to. Be seated. We'll continue on our song sheets and page 220 as well. Page 228. You and you alone, Adonai, will reign over creation upon Mount Zion, home of your presence, and in Jerusalem, a city set apart by you. As the psalmist believed, the Eternal shall reign for all time, your God for all generations. Zion, hallelujah. You are holy, your name is Ah, there is nothing divine beyond you. As the prophet Isaiah taught, the source of all might is exalted through justice, the God of holiness made holy through righteousness. Baruch atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh. Continue on page 232. Together, our God and God of generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace on this day of atonement. Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova. Ufokteinu vo livracha. V'hoshienu vo l'chaim. Eternal our God, remember us. Amen. Be mindful of us. Amen. And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing. Amen. Favor us with the words of deliverance and mercy. Show us the depth of your care. God, we await your redemption, for you reign with grace and compassion. It is not easy to forgive God. It takes huge effort. It is painful, contradictory, and maddening. Human suffering that surrounds us feels utterly unpredictable. But I will forgive God because I do not want to write off the relationship, because I feel there is too much to be lost by simply walking away, because I want my children to develop their own relationships and come to their own conclusions, because despite the pain, sorrow, and suffering, I want my universe full of miracles, not void of them. Because I do not want to be one more angry old cynic in the world. I want to believe a voice still calls out from Sinai, from heaven. That is why I will forgive God. I want to engage in the eternal conversations with the ancestors and sages. Despite it all, I want to live in praise and awe, in wonder and hope, even if I am wrong, even if at the end there is nothing but darkness. Page 240. God who is ours, God of all generations, to you we are grateful forever. Rock and protector of our lives, your saving power endures from age to age. We thank you and tell the tale of your praise, your power in our lives, your caring for our souls, the constant miracle of your kindness. Morning, noon, and night, we call you goodness, for your compassion never ends. We call you mercy, for your love has no limit. We call you hope, now and for all time. And for all these gifts, God of majesty, may your name come to be blessed and praised, our gratitude a daily offering until the end of time. Inscribe your covenant partners for a life of goodness, and may all life resound with gratitude and faith in praise of your name. God, you free us and strengthen us. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. As per Koami tradition, if you're not sitting with your family, or perhaps you have people here who are part of your chosen family, I encourage you to go sit with them and put your arms around each other and engage in a moment of family quality time.
What better place than to do it in synagogue? There's no rush. Okay. Page 245. Page 245. May the Shekhinah, the Holy Presence, spread her wings over you and protect you. May her light shine upon you with compassion, and may her countenance illumine your lives with wholeness and peace. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Ken yehi ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yechunecha.
Ken yehi ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Ken yehi ratzon.
May God bless you and protect you.
May it be so.
May you receive the light of God's kindness and grace.
May it be so.
And may God bestow favor upon you and give you peace.
May it be
May it be
so.
so. Page 250. Please rise if you're able to, and we'll have Brenda, Brooke, Miriam, and Emily come up to help us open the ark. Page 252.
Avinu Malkeinu
Avinu Malkeinu Malei Yadenu Birchotecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings.
Avinu Malkeinu Harem Karen Mashihecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our eyes behold the dawn of redemption.
Avinu Malkeinu Na'al Teshivenu Rekam Milfanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we pray, do not turn us away from you with nothing.
Avinu Malkeinu Kabel Berachamim Uvratzon Et Tefilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, welcome our prayer with love, acceptance, and priesthood.
Avinu Malkeinu Aseh Imanu Lama'an Shemecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu Aseh Lamancha Imlo Lamanenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake, if not for ours.
Avinu Malkeinu Ein Lanu Melech Eleata.
Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are sovereign.
Avinu Malkeinu Petach Sha'arei Shemayim L'Tefilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayer.
Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu Chus V'Rachem Aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice, treat us with tender compassion.
Begin our Torah service on page 255. Give it to Amy. To Amy. I'm sorry, Bren. Adonai, Adonai, God, compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving, and true, showing mercy to the 1,000th generation,
forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, granting pardon.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Norah Shemo, Gadlu Adonai Yitzir, V'neram Nemash Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hagidudam, Ve'Hagivuram, Ve'Hatiferet, Ve'Hanetzach, Ve'Ha'od, Ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Ki kol
You okay?
b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Lecha
Please be seated. Lift it up. Lift it up a little bit. Just lift it up. Thank you.
Adonai HaMorach,
Le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'taranu mikol ha'amim, v'na'ata lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
אתם ניצבים היום כולכם לפני אדוני אלוהיכם, ראשיכם, שבטיכם, לפניכם ושלכם, כל איש ישראל. קחכם נשיכם וגרך אשר בקרב, מחנך מכותב, עצך עד שואב ממך. לעברך בברית אדוני אלוהיך, ובעלתו אשר אדוני אלוהיך כרת עמך היום.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tokeinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ya'amdu Yehuda David ben Rafael Miriam Vital Bar Yaakov Beguria Bebarat Chai Gurim ben Yehuda David Vital ve'Eli Sheva Nala bar Yehuda David Vital Aliyah
Yasher Koach. Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam va'ed.
למען הקים אותך היום, לא לעם והוא יהיה לך, ואלוהים כאשר דיבר לך, וכאשר נשבע לאבותיך לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב. ולא אתכם לבדכם אנוכי, כרת את הברית הזאת ואת העלה הזאת, כי את אשר ישנו כל עמנו עומד היום לפני אדוני אלוהינו, ואת אשר איננו כל עמנו היום.
Thank you.
Ya'amdu
Want to smell?
Yaakov David ben Shlomo Zed Yehuda Ketir Satana Bat Gad Beromo ve'Eri Machil ben Yaakov David
אשר אנוכי מצווך היום, לא נפלט היא ממך ולא רחוקה היא. לא בשמיים היא לאמור, מי יעלה לנו השמיימה ויככה לנו וישמיענו אותה ונעשנה. ולא מעבר לים היא לאמור, מי יעבר לנו אל עבר הים ויככה לנו וישמיענו אותה ונעשנה. כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד בפיך ובלבך לעשותו. ראה נתתי לפניך היום את החיים ואת הטוב ואת המוות ואת הרע, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום, לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיך, ללכת בדרכיו ולשמור מצוותיו וחוקותיו ומשפטיו וחיית ורבית, וברכך אדוני אלוהיך בארץ אשר אתה בא שמה לרשתה. ואם יפנה לבבך ולא תשמע, ונידחת והשתחווית לאלוהים אחרים ועבדתם, הגדתי לכם היום, כי אבוד תורידון לא תאריכון ימים על האדמה אשר אתה עובר את הירדן לבוא שמה לרשתה. העידותי בכם היום את השמיים ואת הארץ, החיים והמוות נתתי לפניך, הברכה והקללה, ובחרת בחיים למען תחיה אתה וזרעך. לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיך, לשמוע בקולו ובקרבו, כי הוא חייך ואורך ימיך, לשבת על האדמה אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיך, לאברהם, ליצחק וליעקב לתת לכם.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
We think of those who are not with us today, who might be at a hospital, a nursing home, a rehab facility, or who had to stay home because they weren't feeling well. Our community is thinking of Layla Brody, Adam Brook, Joe Crane, Carol DeVore, Phil Flanagan, Deborah Ford, Steve Keating, Sally Keaton, Carol Benovowitz, Sherry Halber, and David Rader. If you have any names to add or correct, please do so.
Robert Billing.
The Misher Berach is found on page 272.
Ufayenu Adonai v'nerufeh.
Page 274.
We rise to show honor to the Torah. Thank you, Bill and Dee.
Please be seated. Page 275.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nbi'im tovim v'ratza b'divreihem ne'emarim ba'emes. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'torah u'moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nbi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek.
Cry from the depths, says God. Do not hold back. Lift up your voice like the shofar. Tell my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sin. Yes, they seek me daily, as though eager to learn my ways, as if they were a nation that does what is right and has not abandoned God's law. They ask me the right way, eager for God's nearness. They say, "Why did we fast, and you do not see it? We afflict ourselves, and you do not know it, because even on your fast day you think only of desire, while oppressing all who work for you. Because your fasting is filled with strife, and with callous fist you strike. No, your fasting this day will not lift up your voice before heaven. Is this the fast I desire, a day to afflict body and soul? Bowing your head like a reed, covering yourself with sackcloth and ashes? Do you call this a fast, a day worthy of the favor of Adonai? Is not this the fast I desire, to break the bonds of injustice and remove the heavy yoke, to let the oppressed go free and release all those enslaved? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, to take the homeless poor into your home, and never to neglect your own flesh and blood? Then shall your light burst forth like the dawn, and your wounds shall quickly heal, your righteous one leading the way before you, the presence of Adonai guarding you from behind. Then when you call, Adonai will answer, and when you cry, will respond, I am here. If you remove the chains of oppression, the menacing hand, the malicious word, if you offer your compassion to the hungry and satisfy the suffering, then shall your light shine through the darkness, and your night become bright as noon. Adonai will guide you always, slake your thirst in parched places, give strength to your bones. You shall be like a well-watered garden, an unfailing spring. From you they will rebuild ancient ruins, lay foundations for ages to come, and you shall be called the one who mends the breach and bring back the streets for dwelling. If you cease to trample Shabbat, stop pursuing your affairs on my holy day. If you call Shabbat a delight, the holy day of Adonai honored, and if you honor God by not doing business or speaking of everyday matters, then shall you take pure delight in Adonai. I will lift up your journey on earth to the highest of places and nourish you from the heritage of your father Jacob. For thus spoke Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzor kol ha'olamim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman v'omer v'yoseh, ha'medaber u'mekayem, shechal devar emet v'tzedek. Neman atah hu Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu darcheach, v'darchei echad, Nidrecha, ochel lo, Yeshuv, Rakim, Ki El Melech, Ne'eman, V'amar Atah. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el, Ha'ne'eman, B'chol Davar. Racham al Tzuri, Tzion, Ki Beis Hayanu, Fala'avna, Nafesh, Toshenu, Toshea, Mihavra,
Thank you. Mr. Coat. And we'll continue on page 284, the prayer for our congregation.
Prayer for our congregation. Eternal presence, who blessed our mothers and fathers, bless this holy congregation, a house of study, prayer, and righteous deeds. Together we give thanks for our leaders, those who learn, teach, and uphold the Torah, inspiring others to learn, teach, and uphold the Torah. Those who do the sacred work of building our community, may their service bring them joy, fulfillment, and purpose, and may they go from strength to strength. For our members, diverse in age, interest, and background, Jews by birth, Jews by choice, and those of other faiths who join with us, all who offer their time and talent, their love and commitment. For all who come here on this holy day of Yom Kippur, who share the search for meaning and renewal, your presence is a blessing, your friendship a gift. May the spirit of dignity, peace, and respect live within these walls, inspiring us to care for one another with compassion, and may we be a source of goodness, light, and healing for the world. May the one who blessed the generations before us bless us as we stand together this day, one congregation joined with all Jewish communities of the world, through our prayers on this day of atonement. Let us renew ourselves for the year ahead. Let us honor the precious legacy that is ours.
Thank you. Page 286. We join together in the prayer for our country. God of holiness, we hear your message. Justice, justice, you shall pursue. God of freedom, we hear your charge. Proclaim liberty throughout the land. Inspire us through your teachings and commandments to love and uphold our precious democracy. Let every citizen take responsibility for the rights and freedoms we cherish. Let each of us be an advocate for justice, an activist for liberty, a defender of dignity. And let us champion the values that make our nation a haven for the persecuted, a beacon of hope among the nations. May our actions reflect compassion for all people within our borders and abroad.
May our leaders and officials embody the vision of our founders to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We pray for courage and conscience as we aim to support our country's highest values and aspirations, the hard-won rights that define us as a people, the responsibilities that they entail. We pray for all who serve our country with selfless devotion, in peace and in war, from fields of battle to clinics and classrooms, from government to the grassroots, all those whose noble deeds and sacrifice benefit our nation and our world. We are grateful for the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our founders ascribed to you, our Creator. We pray for their wisdom and moral strength, that we may be guardians of these rights for ourselves and for the sake of all people, now and forever. Page 288.
Avinu, you who are high above all the nation states and peoples, Rock of Israel, the one who has saved us and preserved us in life. Bless the state of Israel, first flowering of our redemption. Be her loving shield, a shelter of lasting peace. Guide her leaders and advisors by your light of truth. Instruct them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who build and protect our holy land. Deliver them from danger. Crown their efforts with success. Grant peace to the land, lasting joy to all of her people. And together we say,
Amen. Page 290. Please rise if you are able to. Can I give it to you? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Please be seated. At my previous job as a chaplain, feedback was essential, and yet I hardly ever received it. My boss did not believe in it, and as he said, I don't know how to give feedback constructively. Training to become a chaplain involves hours of professional feedback. We would present verbatim records of our visits with patients and meet with a supervisor weekly. In each conversation, we were evaluated either in a group format or on an individual basis. Though it was hard to constantly hear how I could do better, it was helpful, and I grew to love regular feedback as a pathway to a change and improvement. When I finished my training and started my full-time job, I was eager to hear how things were going. A couple of months into the job, I sat down with my manager and asked for feedback. I asked him to follow me on a patient visit, and at first he ignored the idea, and then he refused, and then I pretty much had to beg him, and he finally agreed. And afterwards, when I asked him for his perspective, he merely said, "You were fine. I'm not sure why you wanted any feedback. You don't need any." Now, this was a bit shocking, and I didn't really believe him. There was no way I could be perfect at this job. I had just started. Offering constructive feedback would have been helpful to my growth and to understand how the chaplains work better as a team. In response, I wanted to offer him feedback. And months later, at our yearly review, I did offer him some feedback. And he said, "Well, I know, we could all do better, but me telling you will not help." This lack of communication in general led to an unexpected announcement. He would be leaving in a month. There was no information given about a replacement. I believe that my team could have been better prepared to cope if there had been opportunities for ongoing conversations throughout our time there. Why am I giving a sermon on this topic at this time? Because I am your new rabbi, and honest, regular communication is clearly on my mind. My own self-evaluation tells me I am not perfect, and I'm going to make unintentional mistakes. It is inevitable. And though it may be somewhat risky, I want to hear from you. I want to know how I can do better and be a better rabbi for you and our community. But it is not only about me receiving feedback. It is imperative that I give feedback to you to improve our congregation. We are in a team environment, and this is one way to keep the team operating smoothly. I don't want us to fall into the same trap as my example where there was disappointment and disarray because of a lack of regular, honest conversations. Giving and receiving feedback and the right kind is essential. Feedback is so important that it can help us avoid failure or leaving a job. As Robert Allen, a financial advisor, argued, there is no failure, only feedback. Nevertheless, some people are so uncomfortable giving honest commentary that their heart rates jump to show moderate or extreme duress. Both the receiver and the giver feel equally anxious. This response occurs because we don't know what to expect, and it makes us nervous, vulnerable, and it makes us doubt our confidence and actions. Feedback relies on having safety and trust within the relationship, qualities often difficult to create in the workplace. Even if we resent feedback because we may not agree with it, we are encouraged to be grateful for it. The conversation, even when it is painful, can be the beginning of discovering things about ourselves, about each other, and where our futures can take us. We are told in the Midrashic story to regard someone who points out our correctable faults with the gratitude we feel toward a doctor who diagnoses an ailment. Rabbi Zissel Ziv said, "A person is willing to pay a doctor for trying to heal him. Should he be any less grateful to one who helps him correct his spiritual failings?" Aside from the workplace, it is important to offer feedback to ourselves on a regular basis. Yom Kippur is one way to start that process. It may be the one annual review that is the most necessary. Taking inventory of one's actions from the past year, compiling our cheshbon nefesh, gives us raw material to improve upon. Having honest conversations with ourselves is how we put the holy day of Yom Kippur into practice. Looking back on the year behind us is an evaluation of our actions, and looking ahead offers us the opportunity to set some goals for the year ahead. This is how change can occur. It can lead us to examine and evaluate the way we interact with each other, how we gather and connect. The Day of Atonement has the potential to change how we see ourselves, our community, and our world. It can inspire us to make a difference in our community by offering our input and perspective. The purpose of this day and the entire High Holy Day season is to help shape lives to become more thoughtful and compassionate, more ethical, and more reverent. In Judaism, there is a desire and an obligation to give and receive praise and constructive criticism. The Rambam, a Sephardic Jewish philosopher from the 12th century, wrote, "When a man commits a transgression against a fellow person, he should not hate the offender and keep silent. Rather, there is a mitzvah incumbent upon him to inform him and say to him, 'Why did you do that to me? And for what reason did you commit a transgression against me?' As Jews, we are encouraged to have difficult conversations to move forward together. It is another way of working on ourselves and working together." The Rambam continues arguing, "He who reproves his friend is required to reprove him in private, between the other person and himself, to speak gently and in a soft manner, and to make known to him that you are speaking to him only for his benefit. And this means feedback should be given without raised voices and accusations. It is imperative to be mindful of the other person and offer observations gently." Jewish teaching compares the tongue to an arrow. Why not another weapon, a sword, for example, one rabbi asks. Because, he was told, if a man unsheathes his sword to kill his friend, and his friend pleads with him and begs for mercy, the man may be mollified and return the sword to its scabbard, but an arrow, once it is shot, cannot be returned. Then how can we be effective at giving feedback? The prophet Nathan provides us a model. When he learns that King David has committed adultery with Bathsheba and arranged for her husband Uriah to die in battle, the prophet realizes that he must confront the king. He does so in private, intent on moving David to recognize the evil that he has committed. Nathan tells the king of an injustice. There were two men in the same city, one rich and one poor. The rich man had large flocks and herds, but the poor man had only one little lamb that he had brought. He tended it, and it grew up together with him and his children. It shared his morsel of bread, drank from his cup, and nestled in his bosom. One day a traveler came to the rich man, but he was loath to take anything from his own flocks or herds to prepare a meal for the guest who had come to him. And so he took the poor man's lamb, slaughtered it, and prepared it. David flew into a rage against the man and said to Nathan, "As the Lord lives, the man who did this deserves to die." Nathan said to David, "That man is you." Nathan knows he has the responsibility to confront King David about his very serious offenses, but he also recognizes the necessity of presenting his reproof in a way that will be effective and thereby will force David to acknowledge his wrongdoing. Because Nathan knew how to offer criticism, David learned how to repent. Fortunately, few of us will ever have to rebuke another person for such a monumental offense. However, in even our closest relationships, we often have reason and even the obligation to offer criticism, whether it is to express justified anger, to protect innocent people from being harmed, or to benefit some other person. Indeed, the Torah includes criticizing among its commandments. Reprove your kinsman, but incur no guilt because of him. When we are offered honest observations, this assumes that we are still capable of change, and this should motivate us. It implies that our bodies and minds are still evolving. Rabbi Salanter, a Lithuanian rabbi of the 1800s, recalled an insight he had while spending an evening in the house of a shoemaker. Late at night, the man was working feverishly by the light of a candle whose flame was near extinction. "Why are you still working?" Rabbi Salanter asked him. "Look how late it is. Your candle is about to go out." "It is late," the shoemaker agreed. "But as long as the candle is burning, it is still possible to mend." Self-correction should go on for the entirety of our lives, or as long as the candle is burning. Adam Grant, author of Think Again, urges his readers to pause once or twice a year to reflect on how their aspirations have changed since the last reflection. This is his way of thinking again, of engaging in deep personal observation. This takes humility, the ability to admit that we are not always right, and trust in ourselves that we'll be curious enough to reimagine our future plans. Grant encourages us not to stay tethered to old images of where we want to go or who we want to be. The simplest way to start rethinking our options is to question what we do daily. By investing in learning about ourselves and each other and in solving any problems we may discover, we can develop our passions and build the skills necessary to do the work and lead the lives we find worthwhile. Rethinking allows us to do more than update our self-knowledge and opinions. It is a tool for leading a more fulfilling life. In this season of newness, I foresee a lot of changes coming, and engaging in honest feedback will be important. I hope you feel empowered to share with me and others what your needs are and how you are experiencing our congregation. There is no more valuable conversation than one that leads to better understanding and positive change. May the honest conversations you have with yourselves and each other offer you a meaningful introspection, not just today, but throughout the year. Gamar Hatima Tova. We will call up Linda Congale and Alan Gale to offer a speech, the Word of Tzedek speech. Thank you so much for being here.
It is written in Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our fathers, and attributed to the great Rabbi Hillel of Talmudic times, "If I am not for myself, who then will be for me? But if I am for myself alone, what am I? And if not now, when?" And also from Pirkei Avot, "It is not up to us to complete the task, but neither can we desist from the effort." Tikkun Olam, often translated as repair or perfect the world, is a key element of Judaism. Linda and I, and most of the Reformed Jewish world, believe that the true essence of Tikkun Olam are social action initiatives directed toward eliminating injustice, poverty, inequality, hate, and discrimination. Temple Kolamit plans and implements, or is involved in, or is supportive of such initiatives throughout the year. When thinking about the world's imperfections, it's okay to get frustrated or angry, because we may then feel enough compassion to move us to take action. That's worth repeating. Compassion moves us to action. We show positive results on the ground, not from just talking the talk, but from rolling up our sleeves and working to make the world a better place for all. It is true that we will sometimes get dirty or tired in our attempts to make a difference. But take it from us, these efforts have their own reward, and in both a real and a spiritual sense, they repair and perfect us and all others who participate them, as well as the target audience, the larger world in which we live.
It is an honor to be recognized as pursuers of justice for our commitment to social action. Social action was a part of my life before I knew those words existed. By the time I was 15, I was a vegetarian, simply for my love of animals. It was considered weird then, and I didn't meet another vegetarian until I graduated college. My children had it much easier, as they were raised since birth this way and in a more accepting culture. I spent many years attending animal rights rallies, picketing fur stores, petitioning against steel-jaw leg-hold traps and animal experimentation. I became the educational materials advisor to a humane education service and prepared lesson plans for teachers on endangered species, wolves, whales, and more. As a teacher at Hillel Day School, my students sold baked goods to raise money to purchase medical supplies for animal shelters in Israel. Alan and I personally delivered those supplies to shelters near Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. As a teacher in private and public schools, humane education was always on my lesson plans. For 30 years, I walked dogs at the Michigan Humane Society in Detroit and the Michigan Animal Rescue League in Pontiac. Every Saturday, every holiday, and most days in the summer, for 30 years, you could find me walking dogs at a rescue shelter. I participated in immunization clinics, and we have personally fostered dozens of dogs and cats. So, what do you do after 30 years of devoting your life to social action through animal causes and walking a zillion homeless dogs, and now your body has given out on you? Spinal fusion, laminectomy, meniscus tear, 2 knee replacements. Fortunately for me, I found Temple Kolami. I found the Social Action Committee. I found Sisterhood and was asked to co-VP Social Action. I found the food pantry, and because I'm me, I added a pet pantry to the food pantry. And I provide dog and cat food every week for the pets of our pantry guests. So how can you get involved? You don't have to wait until your body falls apart like I did. If your passion is countering food insecurity, come help at our food pantry. Friday is now my favorite day of the week as we sort, pack, and pass out food that is provided by Metro Food Rescue and Hospitality House. Don't forget to pass out the pet food. Thank you, Hannah Merritt. Keeping with food projects, join us the third Wednesday of each month as we serve at Capuchin Soup Kitchen in Detroit. One of our most ambitious food projects each year is serving 50-plus guests 3 meals a day for a week at Lighthouse in Pontiac. You can shop, pack, cook, or serve. Or if you'd like, just pick a day of the week and go to Yad Ezra on your own to help out. And thank you for the kosher food you have brought today. Mitzvah Day is lots of fun with a wealth of activities to participate in or volunteer to lead. We have baked cookies for a fire station, made blankets for Almost Home Dog Rescue, decorated hats with seniors, made snack packs for Detroit students for the weekends, and the religious school kids made bags filled with birthday party supplies for Jewish family service. We participate in off-campus events such as JFS Fall Fix-Up and tutoring in Detroit schools. Our Relay for Life team well surpassed their goal this year and raised over $6,000. We even have virtual events like Jewish Earth Alliance Virtual Lobby Days. I never would have believed I'd be lobbying a senator's office. But know Rondi Brower long enough, and you too could be lobbying on issues such as protecting wildlife from extinction and climate solutions in the Farm Bill. Or join the Green Team and work on this year's grant from Hazone reducing single-use plastics at TKA. Twice a year, we hold a truly life-saving event, the Dave Henning Blood Drive. I cannot donate blood, so I always work at the event. This year, I needed 2 pints of blood myself. Someone gave me the gift of life. You can give someone that gift. Sisterhood leads many social action events, from Adopt a Senior at Hanukkah to much more involved projects, like the ongoing project we have now with Haven. Haven is Oakland County Shelter for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. All people have the right to live without fear, but women and girls are disproportionately victimized by their partners, dates, and other perpetrators. Sisterhood is collecting donations from Haven's wish list. If you have donated, thank you. We will continue collecting until our Sukkot event on October 2nd. Then we will learn more about Haven's mission and how we can recognize family, friends, and community members in danger. We hope you will attend and become more educated. Alan and I hope you will become an instrument of positive change in our world, and Temple Kol Ami offers so many ways to engage in Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. And remember, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Thank you for those inspiring words. We'll continue on page 293. Because I was angry, because I did not think, because I was exhausted and on edge, because I'd been drinking, because I can be mean, because I was reckless and selfish, because I was worried about money, because my marriage was dead, because other people were doing it, because I thought I could get away with it, because I did something wrong, because I am in pain, because I wish I could undo it, because I hurt him, because I lost her trust, because I let them down, because I was self-destructive, because I was foolish, because I'm ashamed, because that's not who I am, because that's not who I want to be, because I want to be forgiven. God, bring down my walls of defensiveness and self-righteousness. Help me to stay in humility. Please give me the strength to do what is right.
Shema
page 296. We join together. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Together, of these wrongs we are guilty. We betray, we steal, we scorn, we act perversely. We are cruel, we scheme, we are violent, we slander. We devise evil, we lie, we ridicule, we disobey. We abuse, we defy, we corrupt. We commit crimes, we are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral. We kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray. Continue on page 300. The ways we have wronged you under duress and by choice, and harm we have caused in your world, consciously and unconsciously. The ways we have wronged you through our thoughtlessness, and harm we have caused in your world through impulsive acts of malice. The ways we have wronged you by abusing our power, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers. The ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and harm we have caused in your world through inflexibility and stubbornness. The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world by making light of serious matters.
אחי שחטאנו לפניך, בשיח שפתותינו, אחי שחטאנו לפניך, בצרות עין.
The ways we have wronged you in our routine conversations, and harm we have caused in your world through envy.
שחטאנו לפניך, בגלוי ובסתר, ואחי שחטאנו לפניך, בשנאת חינם.
The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly, and harm we have caused in your world by hating without cause.
אחי שחטאנו לפניך, בפריקת עול, ואחי שחטאנו לפניך, במאכל ובמשתה.
The ways we have wronged you by losing self-control, and harm we have caused in your world through consumption of food and drink.
אחי שחטאנו לפניך, בגלוי עריות, ואחי שחטאנו לפניך, באימוץ הלב.
The ways we have wronged you through sexual immorality, and harm we have caused in your world by hardening our hearts.
אחי שחטאנו לפניך, בנשק ובמרבית, ואחי שחטאנו לפניך, במשא ובמתן.
The ways we have wronged you through greed and exploitation, and harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty in business.
אחי שחטאנו לפניך, בהרהור הלב, ואחי שחטאנו לפניך, בערפילות.
The ways we have wronged you through our innermost thoughts, and harm we have caused in your world through gossip and rumor.
אחי שחטאנו לפניך, בחפת שוחד, ואחי שחטאנו לפניך, בהילול השם.
The ways we have wronged you by offering or accepting bribes, and harm we have caused in your world by profaning your name in public. announcements. We will have a speakers series starting at 1 p.m. There is a selection of people you can go learn from. You can learn from our esteemed meteorologist, Paul Gross, on a nature walk across the street. You can learn from Rabbi Benjamin Altshuler about puzzles in room 2, or you can learn about funerals and dying from funeral director Josh Tobias from Ira Kaufman Funeral Home. He'll be in the sanctuary. That's all at 1 p.m. At 2 o'clock, Alan Gale will offer his famous Israel talk, or if you want to come to our multi-generational service, that will be outside under the tent. At 3:30, Natalie Conrad will offer music and meditation in the sanctuary, and at 4:30, our afternoon Yizkor and Me'ila service will begin. I want to thank the choir for doing a wonderful job and sharing your voices with us, and the accompanist, Chancellor, and our tech person, Sam. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank everyone who was part of the service and our ushers, and thank you all for being here. Our closing song is on page 318. May you feel healed, knowing you have reflected. May you feel forgiven, knowing you have repented. May you have the courage to embrace another chance. May the sweetness of the new year give you hope. Gamar Chatima Tova. Thank you for being here.